scary AF. Here is a short, scary story. The small town of Ravenswood was never the same after the night the children disappeared. It was a typical summer evening, with the sun setting over the horizon and the crickets chirping in the fields. But then, without warning, the children vanished. At first, the townsfolk thought it was just a prank, that the kids had wandered off into the woods to explore. But as the hours ticked by and the sun dipped below the horizon, panic set in. Search parties combed the woods, calling out the names of the missing children, but there was only silence. As the night wore on, strange things began to happen. Doors would slam shut on their own, and the sound of whispering could be heard in the wind. People started to whisper about an old legend, about a figure known only as the Whisperer, who roamed the woods, searching for victims to add to its collection. One brave soul, a young woman named Sarah, decided to investigate further. She grabbed a flashlight and headed into the woods, determined to find out what had happened to the missing children. As she walked deeper into the forest, the whispering grew louder until she could make out the words. "Come and play with us," the voices seemed to be saying. "Forever and ever and ever." Sarah's heart raced as she shone her flashlight around, but there was no one in sight. Suddenly, she heard a twig snap behind her. She spun around, but it was too late. The Whisperer loomed over her, its face a twisted mask of evil. Sarah's screams were drowned out by the sound of the whispering, which grew louder and louder until it was a deafening roar. And then, she was gone. The next morning, the townsfolk found Sarah's flashlight lying on the ground, the batteries dead. But as they searched the woods, they realized that something was wrong. The trees seemed to be watching them, their branches twisted into grotesque, childlike faces. And then, they heard the whispering. It was soft at first, but growing louder, until they could make out the words, "We're still here. We're still playing." The people of Ravenswood knew then that they were doomed. The Whisperer had taken their children, and it would never give them back. The town was consumed by darkness, and the whispering continued, a haunting echo that would haunt the survivors for the rest of their lives.